Good morning, friends. This is your host, Seema Sharma, and welcome to the Money Minutes. Today's topic is very simple, yet very, very useful. So today's topic is TFSA, Tax-Free Savings Account. A lot of you know it as an account that you can open up with the bank and save money for emergencies. Well, I don't think so. I think this is an account that you need to work together with your RRSP and save for your retirement. As we go into the message a little bit more, I'll tell you why this account is so much more important than just having it as an emergency fund. I actually feel very bad when clients treat this account as an emergency fund, like I will invest money today, and if I need money tomorrow, I'll be able to take money out tomorrow. No. That's not what you need to do with this account. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen and show you what we have done so far in these meetings. And I want to make sure the message gets to you in the most simplified way possible. Okay, so let me remind you what messages we have covered so far on this program through Money Minutes. And the first video during COVID-19 that I started with was Budget for Success. And here's a view of what this Budget for Success program covered. If you have not seen my video, it is online on YouTube on the same channel as you're watching this. You know, a lot of people say that money is not important. I agree with them because your health and family comes first. But if there was no money problem in the world, we would be living a very different life. So I think it's important to understand that money is not everything, but it is a big component of our life, especially if we want to live a healthy and happy life. All right, let's get started. So first message that we covered was Budget for Success. Second one that we covered was debt versus equity, and we talked about types of investment. Next, we covered investor profile. It was very important for me to have my clients and my viewers understand what personality they are and what kind of investment they should be looking into. And then after that, we talked about RRSPs, and I tried to simplify it as much as possible. And these are the 5 things that I covered in that message. The contribution limit, spousal RRSP, how are they taxed when you withdraw your investments, home buyer's loan plan, and also education plan. And it would be the same case for TFSA as well, but let's get right into TFSA for today. So in the most simplest form, if I can tell you what TFSA is, it's basically, again, CRA offered benefit. So for Canadians to save money for their future without paying any tax on the growth. Now, how is it different from RRSP? RRSPs are tax deductible and they also grow tax sheltered. Tax-free savings account does not have the tax deductibility from your income. So for example, if your income is $100,000 and you put $6,000 into tax-free savings account, your income is still $100,000, you're still gonna pay tax on $100,000. In RRSPs, if you put that same $6,000 in RRSP, your taxable income for the year would be $94,000. So that's how they differ. But then what are the benefits of tax-free savings account? The benefit first is it helps you save money in a very tax efficient way. So regardless of where you invest your money, you never have to worry about paying tax on the growth. Okay, so we're going to use another example. If you save $100,000 in a non-registered account out there with the bank, you will any growth on that 100,000, you'd have to include that in your income tax, in your annual income to pay income tax. In a tax-free savings account, if you are gaining on that 100,000, $10,000 each year, that money does not have to be reported to CRA on an annual basis. So your income is untouched, regardless of how your money is growing. So the first benefit is your money is growing tax-free. The second benefit is that when you withdraw this money, unlike RRSP, you do not pay tax. So it's tax-free while it's growing, and it's tax-free when you withdraw. If you withdrew that growth at your retirement age, you would not have to pay any tax. And that's where the most benefit comes from. So if I were to withdraw an income upon my retirement from RRSP, it's fully taxable. From CPP, from old age, fully taxable. From my employment pension, fully taxable. But if I were to withdraw an income from a tax-free savings account, it would be tax-free. And the impact of that is huge. If your total income is taxable, which is, let's say, $100,000 upon retirement, you're going to pay the highest income tax. Okay, but if you can bring that income to, let's say, $50,000 as taxable and the other $50,000 as non-taxable, meaning you're withdrawing that from a non-registered source, such as a tax-free savings account, your annual income, taxable income for the year is only $50,000. So the tax on that $50,000 would be $17,000 approximately versus $35,000 on that $100,000. And there are many factors that you should know about, but here, to understand it simply, I think you need to know that tax-free savings account is a blessing. And anyone who's not making use of it or does not take it seriously, don't judge me. Yes, I do understand right now it may be the time that you need your money the most. And if that is the case, go ahead and use it, because one of the features of this program or this tax-free savings account is that you never lose that room. And that is my second point here about tax-free savings account, that unlike RRSP, because RRSP, if you withdraw money from, you end up losing that room. Okay, but from a tax-free savings account, if a government understands that if you're saving money, you may need it. If you need it, you will withdraw it. If you withdraw it, do you lose that room? You don't. The only complication there is you can't put that money back in the same calendar year. You have to wait till the next year. So here are some points that I want you to quickly know about our TFSA. Number one, it started in 2009. And it started so that Canadians can save for their future without worrying about taxes. If you have not invested any money so far in TFSA and you were 18 and older in year 2009, your room currently is $69,500 as of 2020. And of course, right now, the current limit for this year is $6,000. So if you have never invested in TFSA, I would highly recommend that start the program as soon as possible, because I would like an average Canadian to reach that $69,500 as soon as possible. Okay. Another thing you need to know, which I covered recently, is that withdrawals are easy and you can regain the room in the next calendar year. Now, combined with RRSP and TFSA, I think these two programs that are offered by government in Canada, they simplify your retirement so much that if someone starts at age 30 to think about these two programs and maximizes, regardless of your income, guys, regardless of your income, if you maximize from age 30 to 65, and you are maxing out your RRSPs and you're maxing out your TFSA. And of course, I need to look at your individual situation to guide you accordingly. But rule of thumb, the general rule is if you are maximizing your RRSP and TFSA from age 30 to age 65, you don't need to worry about retirement. Now let's look at an impact of what this TFSA can do. Here we go. Now this is exactly what I told you. Right now you have room for $69,500. For, let's say, for this example's sake, what I have done here is I started a program for someone who is going to be committed to investing $6,000 a year and can afford to put $60,000 up front because they have the room. From year 30 to year 60. So that's 30 years. If somebody started at 35, they can retire at 65 here. At a 6% growth, they would have saved $834,000 in their TFSA account. So you understand the impact of long-term planning and investing when it comes to tax-free savings accounts. So please do reach out, talk to me if you have any questions. If you have tax-free savings account and you want to find out if you're invested in the right place, right market, right funds, please reach out. You know, some of you ask if this is a good time to invest. This is a slide that shows you how since 1960 up until 2018, each and every year, the time to invest was not right. You remember 2008, global financial crisis. You remember 2016 Brexit. You remember 2018 U.S. and China trade tension, which is still going on. You know, there are each year kind of shows you what's happening and why you shouldn't invest, why this is not the right time. Now, what I want to also show you is if you invested $100,000 in the U.S. stock market on January 1960, right now, and without touching it, without withdrawing, okay, without making those emotional decisions that, you know, today market is bad, I'm going to take my money out, or today market is good. Don't try to time the market, okay? You invested and you left that money there. That money right now would be worth $24 million.